Hey there, it's Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am doing a green eyeshadow look, a tutorial. Get ready with me. Yeah, they're kind of the same, but not the same. Anyways, I am walking y'all through how I do this look. It's been a look I've done a few times over since I got this guy, the Hardwired eyeshadow from Nars, the green one I hauled in a video a little bit ago. So it's a pretty simple way to wear this. Green eyeshadow can be a little bit daunting, I think, for some people. You kind of just have to like find the right shade of green for you. A lot of them can be kind of neon or almost black leaning. So this one can definitely, it pulls a little bit like black sparkle in the reflect. So I did put down a more like olivey green base for it to play off of with a eyeliner, and then kind of use some more like cool toned colors to like blend it out. Anyways, I'm gonna hop into it so this doesn't stay too long, so here we go. So I've already done quite a bit of prep for my skin via my skincare. Earlier I put on the Prickly Pear oil from Lilfox. This is in this month's Beauty Hero box, and it's a really very glowy and hydrating oil. It's a little bit on the thicker side. It's not necessarily heavy, but it just kind of takes a little bit to sink in. So I put this on a while ago, and then I just put on a nice thin layer of the Herbivore Pink Cloud Rosewater Moisture Cream. This is really nice and lightweight, and it gives like a very like bouncy, like plump texture to the skin, which I really like when I'm gonna go in with a kind of more matte leaning foundation. So I have that on. I'm also gonna put on a little bit more eye cream. I put some of this on earlier. This is the Edible Beauty Gold Rush Eye Balm. I have some eczema going on in my eye ear area. It's like on the tail end of it, but it's still kind of like a dry place. So I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit more and let it really sink in. And for sunscreen, I'm gonna put on just a little bit of the CoTZ face tint. This is SPF 40, and it's a mineral sunscreen, but it kind of has this like nice pore filling quality to it. So I really like it as a bit of a primer. And it also has a bit of a tint to it as well. And just for a little extra boost of moisture, I'm gonna put on the Botanical Calming Elixir. And now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. This is the Dior Forever Perfect Makeup Everlasting Makeup foundation. I don't really know what the full name of it, the Dior Forever. Anyways, I finally signed up for Octoly, and this is the first thing that like I submitted on there. So this was gifted to me from Dior to test out and review via Octoly. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and I really like it. I'd say it seems very similar to the Lancome Teint Idole foundation. It is, I'd say it's less matte than that one, but equally long wearing. So I'm gonna get into putting this on my face. And I'd say it's about a medium coverage. Can definitely be built up and sheared out. And what color did I get? I got the color 014, which actually ended up being a pretty good match for me. It's definitely more on the neutral, so almost like cool tone spectrum, which I really like when I have a bunch of redness. Kind of like that for neutralizing. So I'm just starting at the center of my face with this foundation brush and working it out. But yeah, it seems to last really long, or pretty long, and touches up pretty well. It is quite fragranced, so that is like one of the only like concerns I have about it, is sometimes more fragranced foundations can cause me to break out, but it hasn't yet, or at least I can't really seem like any of the breakouts I have had I can attribute to it, so it's nice. Yeah, I've never tried any Dior foundations. I know they're like some of the foundations that people always talk about as their like holy grails, so It's really kind of nice for autumn because it's definitely, it's not like fully matte. It's definitely a little bit more, oh, there's the garbage truck. It's definitely a little bit more on the satin matte spectrum. I've definitely tried more matte things than this, but it's like kind of that like nice in between kind of finish that I can kind of go either way depending on what kind of look I want to do, if I want it to be more matte or more glowy. So I do have a little bit of redness from a breakout right there. Just using the Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer. And I just like set it on with my finger. And I'm gonna go in a minute and blend it out more, but since it's like such a waxy texture, I'm letting it kind of sit and I guess get a little bit more emollient from just the warmth of my body, the warmth of my face. And then I have several sunspots right in here, discoloration, that always end up looking like dark, poorly blended areas, but they're just like straight up sunspots that are there. So I'm putting a little bit of this there. It's like a little bit too dry to use for my eye area fully. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of the Hourglass Veil Retoucher and I'm gonna just use that on my under eye. It's just nice and like brightening. So, and then just blend that out with my finger. So I filled in my brows with the Hourglass Arch Brow Definer in Ash, and since this is just like a little bit too kind of cool toned, well, gray ashy on me, I added a bit of the Boy Brow in Brown. So I have that going on, and I'm gonna get started on the eye part. I didn't put down any powder on my eyes, so I'm just gonna take a little tiny bit. I'm actually gonna be using somewhat the Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is just like such a throwback. I've hit pan on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. I've had this palette for so long. This was actually like, this was the palette I used to do my wedding makeup. So I'm just using a mix of both Charmer and Love Child, the kind of cream shades. The big fluffy brush. I'm just gonna set the basically eye cream concealer combo I have going on there. So I'm taking the Sephora Retractable Eyeliner. This is in the color Olive, and I'm just gonna do a smudge of this right up against the lashes, the upper lash line. So with my finger, I'm dipping into the green Nars Hardwired Eyeshadow. I'm gonna place it on the outer part of the eye and then just kind of work it in. So dipping back into the Tartelette in Bloom palette, I'm gonna pick up this, it's like kind of like a cool toned gray brown. It's the color called Jet Setter. And I'm picking that up with like a tapered crease brush. It's gonna blend that into the crease. I'm taking the Sephora eyeliner again, and just on the lower lash line, just running it along, I'd say maybe a third, just to about there. And then using the little smudger on the other side to blend it out. So for mascara, I'm using the Milk Makeup Kush mascara. Just kind of wiping off some of the excess so I don't get it all over the eyeshadow. Just gonna smooth out this area with that fluffy brush from earlier. So I really want my highlighter to be kind of a part of the whole look, so I'm going to put it on before I put on my bronzer. This is the Pixie highlighter duo. What color is this? This is Delicate Dew Glossy Gossamer Duo, and it has this really pretty kind of lilac-y shade. So I'm taking that with a smaller brush. And because I'm putting this on before I'm doing the other stuff, I'm gonna go a little bit more heavy than I normally would, especially with a powder highlight, because I'm really gonna get it to kind of like sink in. And then I'm just patting it in with my fingers. For bronzer, I'm using the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. And I'm just using an e.l.f. bronzing brush. And with the same brush, I'm gonna use the Marc Jacobs Air Blush in Flesh and Fantasy. This is a good like neutral, goes with everything blush. I'm gonna take the highlighter again, and with a little small like detailer brush, I'm just gonna use that as my inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna line my lips with Marc Jacobs Primrose Lip Liner. And I'm using Lancome's La Absolue Rouge in 277. Alrighty, so this is the full look. I really have been into a green eyeshadow, especially in autumn. Sometimes I can find that my skin gets a little bit too red, so wearing sort of like the more common warm red tones, which I really do enjoy, but wearing those can just like end up accentuating anything else red that's going on with my skin. So this is very like seasonal appropriate, but also like not bringing forth anything I don't want forth. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this this little green eyeshadow get ready with me tutorial thing. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Lets me know what kind of content you guys enjoy more so than others, and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in whatever is next. Bye.